Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Rama, Rama 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 Rama, 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 Rama 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 Rama, Rama 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 Rama, Rama Rama भगवान श्री योगी रामसुरत्कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी रामसुरत्कुमारार्पणमस्तु। After 1 hour of Divyanama Sankirtanam of Bhagwan's Nama Yogi Ramsuratkumar, we have submitted all those Nama flowers at his lotus feet, as we always do. And before the submission of today's prayers, we shall see something about a glimpse of Bhagwan to a particular devotee. Bhagwan comes to the rescue of his devotees in different ways, in different circumstances. I had seen Bhagwan when he worked. No matter how small the work is or how big it is, he would go into it instantly with total concentration. And when he finished it, he would come out, he would withdraw from this in totality. Instant and total concentration, instant and total withdrawal. Bhagwan often used to say that this beggar could do only one thing at a time. He did not mean that he was capable of only one work at a time, that we are more capable. What it meant for him, he would go into any work with his entire being. Whereas we would be saying something, thinking something, and acting in some other way. All the three. Even while eating, we would be eating, all right. The mouth would be doing the work, but our mind would be elsewhere, thinking of this and that. And there would be a total alignment missing in that. They should be well aligned. The body, mind, the body, thought and action. All the three should be well aligned, and that is where the Atma Shakti, the energy of the divine, would gather. Now, I have also been telling you people that whenever Bhagwan came to the rescue of his devotees, the grace would work very intelligently, reminding us the Nama is nothing but Nami. Nami is supreme intelligence. So how else could it be? When the grace works, it works in different circumstances, in different ways, and so intelligently. And another thing that I had seen with Bhagwan was he would economize on energy. If he could do some work with little energy, he would do only with little energy. He wouldn't waste energy unnecessarily. The path of least energy and high efficiency is what I had seen in his works. Now, today, I came across a video. I think yesterday somebody showed me a video in which Swami Mukundananda was walking somewhere by the side of the river. He saw one man at a distance about to jump into the river. It was obvious he was going to commit suicide. So he almost ran to the spot and asked him to stop it. And then he said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I want to finish my life. I don't want to live anymore. I have lost everything. I have nothing and no one. And I feel absolutely at a loss. I want to finish my life." "You don't have anything at all with you?" "Yes, sir. I have nothing at all. I have no one, nothing. What's the use of this life? What will I do?" Then Swami asked him, "Okay, you say you don't have any money. I'll give you 25 lakhs. Will you give me your eyes?" He was taken aback. He said, "What are you asking? How can I give my eyes to you?" "Why? I'm giving you 25 lakhs. I'm ready to give you." "No, sir. When I live, I cannot do without my eyes. I cannot give you, no matter how much money you give. Okay? I'll give you 50 lakhs. Will you give me your legs? Or your kidney? You know, he went on asking, mentioning each part of the body and a price for it. And this man was saying, no, no, no. It was becoming louder and emphatic. Then Swami Mukundananda asked him, okay, now you add up all this money. It comes to several crores, what I offered for any part of your body. Now if you simply say yes, I would give you so many crores, which means all parts of your body are worth so much money. When you have 25 lakhs worth eyes, 50 lakhs worth legs, so he went on adding. And when you are worth so many crores, why would you say you have nothing? The man began to understand. Swami said, God has given you all this. Make the best of it. Do not say you have nothing at all. Now let's think. When we get up early in the morning, we are still able to see, our eyes are working. We are still able to walk about. The legs are working. We are able to talk. Anything could have happened in the night. One paralytic attack. One would not be able to talk. One would not be able to function properly, the limbs. Now every day morning, I wake up alive and I have eyes still able to see. I have ears that can hear. I have legs, most importantly, which can take me anywhere I like. What freedom! Should we not thank God for all this wealth? Every day, blessings are pouring on us from the Divine. This is what Bhagwan said. The blessings are always pouring like rain. Even if you don't understand it, even if you are not aware of it, it's going on all the time. So all that we have to do is to become aware of it, to become receptive. It takes a little purification, it takes a little depth of thinking, and it takes the wisdom to know that I have so much already. I have no reason to complain. I lack nothing. And I have God, I have my Guru to depend upon, who is ready to give me whatever I ask for. So this gives us a depth and wisdom. Yesterday evening, I was looking for some Leela. Suddenly I remembered Shivakasi Kumaravel. He was running an ashram there, Bhajan ashram, for Bhagwan. So I rang up and asked him, do you have any particular Leela which will accentuate the glory of Bhagwan at the same time, which has a depth, which could bring out some higher truths which we have to learn. There must be a teaching lesson in it, and there must be glory of Bhagwan in it. He thought for some time, then he said, right now I cannot think of anything, but something happened to me some time back. I do not know how you take it. Amma, if you want me to go ahead, I can tell you that. It would sound very simple. It would all depend upon how you look at it. I said, go ahead. And then he said, sometime back he had a dream. And in the dream, he was going deep into a forest. He was walking into a dark, deep forest. And suddenly at one point, he was surrounded by so many wild animals, lions, all around. You can imagine what a ferocious animal it is. And suddenly he was cornered. There was no way he could escape. And they were all ready to attack him. Not just one or two, a gang of them, all around. There was only one way. He started shouting, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. He simply shouted his name. He came up to this point of the story and then laughed and said, Amma, Swami saved me. I called out his name and Swami saved me. I said he was building up climax and then he would reveal that part of it, how Swami saved him. Instead he laughed and said, Swami saved me. Simply that. I said, come on, man, tell me how it happened. That's very, very important. You'll be building up to the climax. He said, Swami simply woke me up. And that is how he saved me. Of course, we laughed together for some time. And then I said, Kumar, what did you learn from this? Kumar said, Amma, I learned two things from this. One thing is, even in dreams, I was able to shout Yogi Ramsuratkumar's name. It came, it flowed spontaneously from the depths of my being. And the other point is, even in dreams, Bhagwan comes to our rescue. He doesn't dismiss it as a dream. It is as much reality. He acts as though it is as much reality to him as it is to us. And then he added, more than anything else, a very important point. You see, Amma, how quickly he brought me from the state of dream to the state of wakefulness. Just in a fraction of a second. And by doing that, when I woke up, the first thing I knew, I was safe. I had been saved. How? When I woke up, I found I was in the room. It was not a forest around me. There were no lions ready to attack. I was very much safe in my room, in my bed, settled down comfortably. I felt very secure. Isn't that an excellent way of saving somebody? Just waking up to be free from that. What economy of energy. In the dream itself, Bhagwan could have done something very unusual. He could have done it 100 ways. But the simplest of it all would be just wake him up. Make him see it was only a dream. In reality, he was safe. It was a wonderful way of looking at it, and it was all appreciation for Kumar's view and wisdom. Now you see, in all of us, What is this life? The life that is saved. Now we find so many people unable to breathe for lack of oxygen. What is happening inside? We all have a physical heart to the left, and there's another heart, a spiritual heart, which is slightly to the right. That's what Sri Raman Maharishi says. The breadth of 2 fingers from the center. So there's a physical heart and a spiritual heart. And the spiritual heart, you know how it looks. It's like a lotus bud hanging downward. But this lotus bud is not made up of petals. It is a burning, luminous lotus bud, and it's hanging down. Many nadis, we call it energy channels, are running across. They are tying this to various parts of the body. And this is luminous. It's full of prakasha. It's full of light of the divine. And inside this downward lotus bud, there is a space, just like we have physical akash up there. This is called Chit Akash. It is the space of consciousness. And it's an intelligent, supremely intelligent consciousness. Chit. And inside the Chit Akash, Chidakash, is a flame, a burning flame. Once again, it is no fire that burns. Please do not liken it to the physical fire that we see. It's only the luminosity, a flame of high luminosity. This is called pranagni. It's an agni. It's related to the vital air in the body, closely connected to our breath. This is pranagni, and it's throwing its light all around. And this flame has at the tip of it a small flame. On the tip of this flame is something very special. That's what is called a jivatma, the individual soul. And inside this individual soul is seated Paramatma, the Supreme God, the Supreme Self. Now it is this pranagni, prana, agni. When we eat something, that's eaten up first. The first one that receives the food is this pranagni. It eats it, digests it, it converts it into heat and energy. And then the many energy channels are there by which it is hanging. So the heat and the energy of this pranagni is being taken to various parts of the body. That is how the body is warm. And the body feels energetic. Every part of the body receives its energy. So when you eat, as though it's an offering to my God inside, It becomes puja. It is really so. This pranagni carries at its tip the Paramatma. Paramatma is seated there in the Jivatma, which is the tip of the plate. It is this much only we can describe it. The rest is everyone's experience, which may differ from person to person. When Ramakrishna asked Swami Vivekananda, "Do you see a flame between the two eyebrows?" It is this flame, the flame of the soul. That's why we do Arati here. We finish the puja with the Arati. The Arati is a flame. And what does it do? It throws light on the deity. In those days, there was no electric light, especially in Garbhagriha, the sanctum. There would be no light except the lamps, the flames of the lamps. So when they did the Arati, when we do the Arati there, the Arati, the flame of the camphor, would throw light on the deity, revealing the form of the deity in the sanctum sanctum. Just as our consciousness brings things into light, you become conscious of an object. So the consciousness is likened to a flame that throws light upon an object, and the object becomes visible. Now the Arati is meant to say, look, I am visible with the help of this flame, and I am seated in you in the heart lotus, in the flame that is contained in the heart lotus. I am there as this flame, even as this flame. And just as in this flame you see the form of the Murti very well, when you concentrate on the inner flame, you would be able to see the highest truth. It gets revealed, just as the Murti gets revealed in the physical flame. The inner flame, as you concentrate, will reveal the Paramatma, the Supreme God seated inside you. When you go around the deity Pradakshina, it is meant to tell you, "Oh God, you be the center of my life. Let my whole life revolve around you. Let my mind, my heart, my intellect revolve around you. You must be the center of my life." And the incense sticks, the ringing of the bell, they all have significance. They all are indicative of what is happening in our deep meditation. We get the smell, beautiful smell of many things, fragrance of flowers, fragrance of chandan, and then the ringing of the bell. We hear music, divine music inside. You hear the ringing of the bell. So, whatever you see outside as puja done to a Shilamurti is symbolic of what would happen inside you when you go into deep meditation, in search of your own soul, in search of the foundation of your life, the substract, they call it. We call it outside the Adhisthana. Bhagwan Samadhi is called Adhisthana. Adhisthana means the support, the main support of an ashram, which is the samadhi of the deity or the great master. Now, why am I describing all this? Our every breath is rooted in this flame. Our every breath, the in-breath and out-breath, rooted in this space. And how many times a day? 21,000 times. The breath goes and knocks at the door of the divine. In and out, in and out. So when you pray, when you suffer breathlessness, remembering that your very breath is rooted in Him, the Divine, the Supreme, who is capable of anything. There is nothing that He cannot do. There is nothing that He does not know. But you have to ask, you have to beg, you have to invoke His grace. So when you keep praying and praying and praying with your entire being, you don't even need oxygen from outside. The Divine will take care of your breathing. It is the Divine that has put the breath in the first place, in the body, which it created. And it is the Divine that is sustaining your breath. Please do not think that you are breathing. I am breathing. None of us are really breathing. The breathing is an action that's going on spontaneously. In fact, most of the time we are not even aware that we are breathing at all. But still, the breathing is going on with such rhythm, such precision and order. Who is sustaining it? It is the Divine seated inside, the Pranagni, the soul of the Pranagni, and the Paramatma, the Supreme, seated in the soul, the individual soul. So when we pray to God, today somebody had sent me a video where, this oxygen meter, they call it, somebody has inserted their finger into it. It shows 90. And then he starts saying, Vitthal, 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 the name of Vithoba, name of Panduranga. As he keeps on chanting the name, the oxygen number rises 91, 92, 93, 98. So the Nama chanting, you are invoking the grace of the Divine which is seated inside you, the Supreme Intelligence that created the entire cosmos in the first place, the Supreme Intelligence that sustains the whole cosmos. And one day it would withdraw the whole cosmos back into itself. Now that Supreme Intelligence, your breath is rooted in that, just as the plants, the trees are all rooted in the earth. All our breaths, the breath of an ant, the breath of a mosquito, the breath of a tree, plant, bird, animals, the humans, the demons, the devatas, the life force is being sustained by the Divine, the one Divine. It is the one Divine that is seated in all of us, in an ant and in you. Because the one has taken these many forms, playing our roles. He plays the role of a woman with a certain identity. It plays the role of a man with certain identity. It plays the role of a tree. It plays the role of an animal. It plays the role of even a stone. Everything, it's all pervasive. all-pervasive consciousness. Consciousness is the life of life. Your life, your breath is sustained by the consciousness, the divine consciousness. So you see, when the man says, Vittal, 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 the oxygen keeps on increasing. It's so simple a method. You need faith in God, faith in the efficacy of the name, and then it happens. The miracle happens. So let us learn to depend upon the life giver, the sustainer, the supreme God who is seated inside our soul. The Jivatma contains the Paramatma. Paramatma is seated in the individual soul, and the individual soul is activated by the Pranagni, which is seated in Chitakash. All that we eat will be going straight there first. So whether you offer it to God and then take it as his prasad, or you just don't bother about it, you keep gossiping with people around and eat, please know that it is he who takes the food first. And it is he, in the form of Pranagni, digests it and creates heat and energy out of it and distributes it to every part of the body. So it's better to offer your food to the divine, the supreme divine seated in your heart, and then take it as his prasad. It would increase your physical, mental and spiritual health. It would take care of it. Now this Bhagwan, it is the one that has taken the forms of many, and it is this supreme God seated inside you, in the lotus of your heart. It is he who has become, who came as Brahma, created the entire cosmos, and it is he who came in the form of Vishnu, who assumed the form of Vishnu and is sustaining the universe, and it is he who would assume the form of Rudra to destroy the entire cosmos when the time comes. So it is he who has come to us in the form of Yogi Ramsuratkumar, or Sadguru, or Sadguru Bhagwan, and that Bhagwan who is the form assumed by the divine, the Parabrahman, the supreme God, is here in the form of a statue, a Shilamurti. But he is very vibrantly alive here. People could see him breathing. We could see expressions on his face changing. People could see even animation. He is so alive. And he is standing there all the time, not even seated. He is standing there, ever wakeful, ever alert, to rush to the help of the devotees. His hand is raised in benediction to say, I am here, do not fear. Let us submit our today's prayers at his feet. Bhagwan, we beg you 1,000,000 times, again and again and again, infinite time, for your immediate divine intervention to free the humanity from this deadly grip of this monster, Corona and its variants. And please bring back normalcy in every aspect of life. And Bhagwan, the panic is ruling the heart. everywhere. People are afraid at the very mention of this word COVID. And this panic is doing more harm than pandemic. Only you can remove this. We beg you again and again. We plead for your mercy, for your compassion upon this humanity. Remove all the negativities and fear and stop the spread of the disease immediately. Please enter the medicine and make it work. And all those people who feel stranded outside the hospitals, unable to acquire a room, a proper treatment, lack of oxygen, please bless them with the right treatment. Bless them with oxygen, the room in the hospital, so that they get well soon and return home in good health. And there are many, many doctors, nurses, the sanitary workers, and the police people, and officials, other officials, laboring hard day and night at the very risk of their lives against all challenges for the sake of the other lives. Only you can give them protection. And Bhagwan, we also seek a boost to the economy. There are people, now the life has come to a standstill, no shops, no transports, and there is now lack of income or no income at all. People are suffering in different ways. Only you can bring about a relief. We beg you again and again to bless us with constant remembrance of your name and the attitude of being a fitting instrument in your hands, only in your hands. And Bhagwan, please purify us, transform us, so that we could see only your presence and your blessings in every happening of life. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.
Yogi Ramsuratkumar